All right. It's that time. It's time for Beyond Sight and Sound. Let's do this.
Hey boys and girls, we are going to talk about S&W shooters and prospectors. What is S&W shooters and prospectors?
We at S&W Shooters and Prospectors help people find treasure.
Did you say treasure?
Yes, treasure. Just listen to this amazing review from our happy customer, Jackie Sparrow.
Chocolate ship-shape and a pleasure to deal with. I was able to buy everything that I needed at prices that were shillings less than others. I found my 9 pieces of meat in no time. Savvy?
I know you're asking yourself, why should I shop at S&W Shooter and Prospectors?
Chuck Smalley has over 45 years of metal detecting experience. He works with each customer one-on-one to customize their setup to match their skill level.
So if you always dreamt of being a pirate, contact Chuck at S&W Shooters and Prospectors and he'll take a great deal for you.
I-Pass and rum not included.
Caution. Please do not operate motor vehicles or power equipment while under the influence of this show. Listening to this show could cause side effects such as bouts of laughter, violent binges of cabin fever, and even dreams of silver and gold. Please be advised. Now that the fine print is out of the way, on with the show.
All right, we're back. We're live. At least for now. We'll see what happens. I mean, this seems like a repeat of Friday into Saturday, and just as we were sitting down to go live, they issued the warnings for our area. So who knows? It may be a short show, but hopefully everyone that was able to make it or is able to make it has made it, and hopefully everyone is okay. And if you have been in the path of the storms, sound off in the chat. Let us see that you're all right. And in the meantime, we'll get Chuck in here too.
Yeah.
There he is.
Well, this has been a roller coaster of one day of weather. That early this morning I had to take truck in. It had an electrical problem, shorted out a couple lights in the rear. It was acting up, set it up, it's under warranty. They gave me a loaner, which is one of those Broncos Sports, which is kind of fun to drive, but it's still too small. And it just is, it seems like, but nice to drive. So I'm in Davenport, left the dealership around 8:30, 8:35, and there's this low looking storm rolling in. I looked at that, and the sunlight was breaking through, and it was kind of different looking, and the sky was white into that storm. And I'm thinking, you know what, that low cloud, I'll bet that's hail.
That's hail.
Yep, I got up, if you know Davenport, which most of you don't, 53rd, swung into a Hy-Vee fresh spot or whatever it is, their gas station and eatery, whatever, in Davenport. Went in under the awning on the pumps and sat there for a bit, and it opened up and hailed. Now, most of it there was pea-sized, but back 2 miles, it was about golf ball size in one area, and then Kelowna, Illinois got hit with bigger yet. That all cleared, and I drove home. Jill sent me pictures, called me up, said it hailed there, and we had an inch plus of pea-sized hail laying on the roads and that. And the wind was up, man. There were little tree limbs flying around, and I'm thinking, well, got this thing home. Well, then it just settled into a rain. This little sport is coal black in color. Nice looking little rig, but
When it's clean.
when it's clean, I went out there and it was covered in red mud from Texas. I mean, just covered. So later on in the day, I had to run to Cordova. I swung into the station and gave her a rinse off and a scrub down. Got most of that off, but it's still coming out of there. It's that red Texas dust, man. And Kevin, others are talking about it too. But if you look at the satellite imagery, I posted that up. You see why, because you can see that line of that dirt in the air from that satellite picture.
And you could even tell it in the clouds, too.
Right. Oh, thanks, Frank. And Frank reminded us, for you guys, there's an early bird cutoff on June 8th. And I'm going to tell you something right now.
Oh, Frank's got his notes with him.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Well, thank you, Frank.
Yep. And I get signed up and get into that meet and greet because that's going to be a doozy. We've got a crew coming. And I'm going to get a poster up on who all's doing what, but there's going to be some prizes in the ground, chances on them, and good ones.
Yeah.
And good silver and raffles. It's going to be a good one. If Mom
Good prizes, good raffles, good people.
Yep.
Hopefully good weather.
Yeah, that's, keep your fingers crossed. We're in the Midwest. We could have snow then, I suppose.
Well, let's just hope that it's not a bunch of twisters like it has been.
Yeah. So hopefully we don't get that. And now, let's see. We're down around 40 degrees and falling, and we're supposed to get snow up to 1 to 2 inches. But in the interim, we get a little freezing rain.
Yeah.
We've seen a little bit of everything from tornadic warnings this morning.
Yeah, I was going to say wind, hail,
And Central
rain.
Illinois had, the last I knew, 9 confirmed tornadoes.
Yeah, wind, hail, rain, tornadoes, ice,
Janet.
snow, and hopefully Janet and Jack are okay because we were watching live storm spotter footage and that tornado came out of nowhere just west of their area, and it was a little scary to see it drop that fast.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw dust, you saw a little bit of rotation. Next thing you know, it was on the ground and moving.
Everybody's reporting pretty much they're okay.
Well, that is good.
And out in western Nebraska, the highways are a mess, whiteout conditions, jackknife trucks all over the place. So,
yeah.
The whole thing's happening in one shot, and it's for you, those of you in the southeast, east. Here it comes.
Yeah, hang on. And then I see that Frank is in, Swansea's in, Barb, Bills, Bortner's, Kingery's in.
Yeah, getting to be
Good to see everybody dropping in. I mean, there's more people dropping in than I thought there would be with the way those tornadoes were coming down.
Yeah, ORH It was good there. 74 degrees of myself. Well, sit down, hang on tight, because I'm sending you a present. You'll be out of here.
Yeah.
So now the fields are going to be wet again, but that's spring.
No return to cinder.
Yep. You're standing on top, and the next day you're out ankle deep and worse. And then it's all built up on your feet, and you can't hardly walk after 100 yards because you're kicking 2 pounds off at a time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's something else.
Yep. And we will have all on the hunt. We will have XP Deus, Natka, Mine Lab, and Garrett. You got it. You got it.
The big hitters of the industry.
Yep. And some of the, I don't know if you want to call them influencers or the YouTubers, they're catching wind of it and trying to get info on it and show up.
Yeah.
So, bring them on.
Influencers, YouTubers, personalities.
And our friends from Chicago area, Central Illinois clubs, they're coming over. I know ticket sales are moving. I don't know how fast, but again, if you're thinking, think hard, get her done, get signed up.
Yeah, you can't beat the deal. No. And speaking of the gang at Chicago Dig Fest and the Illinois Metal Detecting Association, they've issued another update on Dig Fest. It's getting to be quite a lengthy post, so I'm just going to encourage everyone to stay tuned to the Chicago Dig Fest page and the Illinois Metal Detecting Association Facebook group, and they can get all the updates there as they come through, because John's been very good. When he bumps that, he'll tag everyone to kind of bring it to everyone's attention again. And if you go over to the Illinois Metal Detecting Association Facebook group and you can't find the post, just click on the featured tab and you'll find it very quickly that way.
Okay, Jason, to answer your question, the 600 is definitely discontinued. The 800 should still be something they would work on. So I would have him call them again, or have him go to his dealer and have him call them. And I would think that you could get that 800 worked on. The 6 and 800, generally they support them for up to 5 years after they end the run. Unless they've changed the way they do things, which I have no idea about on that. That can happen in a second.
Right, yeah.
Yep. So have him call him again. Have him call his dealer. Talk to his dealer. And unless it's Amazon, then you're on your own.
Then things get a little more complex.
Right.
But this is why it's always good to deal with a reputable dealer and not an online big box store.
Dennis says he read about another person that was told that. So maybe I'll call in and check and then get back to you on Sunday.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yep. I know they stopped on the E-Track. They have not stopped on the 3030. You can still buy those. So we'll see what happens.
I see.
Yeah. Interesting. New TV.
And apparently, I know Sunday we had been talking about whether or not people had been getting out. Now, I don't know how far back in his collection of videos that this was found, because Hoarder will stockpile footage. And the video that you see this week may have been filmed a month ago. But on his page, the Quarter Hoarder Facebook page, they had a phenomenal half dime that turned up. It was nice.
Cool. I just watched some footage of, gosh, what's that group? Guys, they got into a spot where a guy was finding reals.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. 8, 4s, 2s. Yeah.
Oh, that's a heck of a problem.
Yep.
Very nice. Emery's in.
Yeah. Yeah, cool.
Well,
Swansea, to answer your statement, yeah, I know Trump won, and that will stay there. There's a particular reason for that. And that Josh knows, and it's staying. That's all there is to it. You know, I'll remind anybody that asks, look over my shoulder. That's the guy who won, and he's got them all stirred up, and I love that too, including the Houthis. They're shooting at us.
well, that's the way it goes. And I don't know I don't know how much you're able to catch many of the posts over on the IMDA or not. Randy DeMario, he had quite an interesting find the other day. He found an old street fair badge. I believe that was dated 1897, maybe?
Wow. Well, Dennis Grettencourt had a nice find. It's a token, I believe. I would class that as a token, Dennis. That thing's pretty nice. It's up on his site. Take a look at that. That's neat.
I'll have to go check that out. I'm intrigued now.
Oh, yeah. That one, and you know, you might want to post that to World of Tokens, Dennis, to find out a little more information on it.
Right? Yeah. If he's not finding much information on the internet about it, he gets it over there to World of Tokens on Facebook. They'll be able to give him some information, and it's a good possibility. He gets some good photos, measurements, yada yada. It may show up in the token catalog.
Dennis has got it there now. Did you get any info back on it, Dennis? A little more info on what you had? If you find tokens and you've got no idea and you want an idea, throw it up there. There are token collectors galore on that site. And yeah. I learned that with that 2-cent PK Iowa one. As soon as I posted it, I was getting phone calls.
Right. 5 Mile Relic Hunter in the house.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I should just hang a 2028 sticker up in the corner of that. That would help, wouldn't it, Josh?
Help fire some people up, maybe.
They don't know what stubborn is till they come up against me. You know, leave it up. Hey, John, how you doing? Glad to have you in the house.
Oh, Big John?
John is here. Yes.
He found I believe that may have been today, who knows, recently found a post-Civil War staff officer's coat button, I believe.
I saw that, and I was going to post up on it. I think that is post-Indian War. closer to the Spanish-American War.
Ooh. Very cool.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. We find Indian War buttons through the area here occasionally. And
Well, if that's the case, John ought to be extremely pleased because it looks like it's in very good shape.
very nice shape. Very nice button, John.
Can't beat that. Either way, regardless of the era, it's one to be proud of.
Yes.
He did good.
Yes, he did. That's a nice dig.
Yes, it
Speaking
was.
of warranty work, now Phil contacted me and I ordered a battery for him. It's to be drop shipped, but they're on back order. But they use the same battery in the 900 and the 700. So that battery is going to be around, but they were factory back ordered, which I did not know when we ordered them.
Wait a minute. Was this recently?
Yeah, just last week.
Isn't that like the second battery he's had to do now?
I don't know. Phil.
Because I'm thinking he had to do one last year, the year before, or maybe he just didn't get around to it.
Right. Oh, Shannon said that was hers last time. I wonder where the last battery went.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, see, he's already done Shannon's, so he's professional. He can
He
get
was
the other one
getting
done.
it to charge up to 2 bars. So,
and I mean, for people that are having those issues, there's YouTube videos out there. The batteries are, well, when they're not back ordered, are easily sourced, and it's not a real complicated repair.
right. Kevin, what's the average run time on the 900 on a full charge? For me, it's about 9 hours. And it also depends upon how much you're running. If you got the backlight on, the volume up without the headphones hooked up.
Right. Yeah. I mean, runtime's always subjective with any unit.
Pretty good.
Depending on how high your sensitivity is, whether or not you're running headphones, backlight, how many different settings you've got going on. There, a bunch of different things come into play.
Phil's now thinking it was the plug, not the battery. And he says, I have a spare battery. So, and I've got another one coming for you whenever it shows up, buddy.
I don't remember how much the batteries cost, Jason, but they're not very expensive. I do remember that.
Right. You're correct, Jason. They first made they were worried, and what it was, they were worried when you come out, you don't get the seals back in correctly. It'd flood, you'd send it in on warranty, and they'd have to fix it.
Yeah. And Swansea brings up a good point too. Sometimes the ambient environmental temperature can affect your runtime too.
Right. Right. And then Shannon, I understand. Now, I'm running the 900 and a MANTICORE right now. And I've got a brand new 800 in stock over at the shop. And they're still selling them to us to sell. So it kind of, when he said that they're not covering the warranty on them, maybe
that's surprising.
Yeah.
It does make a person wonder. I mean, the 800 is still a very viable machine.
Yep. ORH, what you need to come up with is a hat that's a solar panel. And then wire it down into the detector. and walk along that way and just keep it charged. The bill could be like a solar panel. Charge him when you're hunting. There you go.
It may not do him much good when he's always in the woods. Who knows, though?
Barb says her Mind Lab headphones, were they the ML80s, Barb? She said they won't charge.
Well, that could be a port or a battery.
Battery for the MANTICORE. Yeah, that has to come from Mind Lab. I have no other brand out there for them. Yeah, Swansea.
She's just been rough on that machine.
Yeah. Well, Swansea's saying he takes his 9,500 watt gas powered generator in the woods. His pinpointer never dies.
I'll bet he's got that thing set up on a backpack, too.
Yep. I don't want to hear him complaining about a sore back ever.
No. Yeah, I see that. It's 230 pounds, but my pinpointer never dies.
Yep. So
I think it'd be cheaper to get an AccuPoint.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, I've had this one over a year now. It made 2 trips to Aruba. It's been drug in the ocean, drug in the mud, stepped on, dropped, fall out of the truck, things like that. Pick it up, turn it on, it works. It holds a charge.
And it's loud.
And you can hear it well. No, it doesn't link up with any other. It will link up with the Naka detectors through the headphones, but it won't link up with anybody else.
No.
Now, don't go there, Swansea. Yes, Dennis, I think Big Boys has the R&B battery packs.
Yeah, and I've heard that they are still around. R&B, that is.
5 Mile says he has a rechargeable versus a 9-volt battery. Are you looking for a new pinpointer? I'd go with that Naka AccuPoint. I actually have people, I've recommended it to them. Several guys have taken it and they put using the carrot. They put in the Mind Labs and they love them. I like mine. I mean, I put it through paces you guys don't even think about.
And you can run that thing forever before it dies, and there's not much of a recharge time on it either. It's USB-C recharging.
Yep. And I literally, one of the tests I did with it, filled a bucket of water the first couple of days after I charged it, used it. I threw it in the water for 2 days, pulled it out, turned it on, had no problem, no leakage. They send you extra tips with it. They send you a lanyard, extra holster, extra seal on the cap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
it is tough to get the cap off the carrot.
Well, it's not to get it off of the AccuPoint.
Nope. Nice.
Just, like quarter turn?
Hi, Tim. So, yep, everybody's rolling in.
Yeah, Mark's in too.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's like quarter turn. And on the AccuPoints, I mean, when you compare them to other pen pointers out there, the Mind Labs, the MI4, the MI6 from XP, the Carrot, they're all right there in that same ballpark as far as price point goes.
Right.
Yes, the AccuPoint may be a few dollars more, but not bad for what you're reaping in the benefits. I mean, that high contrast backlit screen can be quite handy.
Wow. What'd you do? Send that Pony Express, Barb? She sent a package to Del B in New York on February 28th, and it arrived maybe today or yesterday. Hey, it got there.
Well, I don't know. Shipping's a funny thing anymore.
Yeah. So
it is definitely a funny thing anymore.
One thing I got to mention, you guys, right now, there's a 25% off on all MindLab accessories. It does not include pinpointers. It does not include gold pan kits. So if you got any particular accessory, give me a holler. You get 25% off, right off.
So just what does it include then?
Coils, shafts, gloves, hats, whatever you
dig
want.
Tools.
Yeah.
Of course, does
they don't have many.
I imagine they still make a dig tool.
Yep.
I don't know how good it is, but
right. You're right, Swansea. Batteries aren't cheap.
No, they're not. And that's one of the reasons why the AccuPoint is such a strong contender. It does have when it was released, it had a hill to climb because most people will tell you the carrot is king. But the AccuPoint started making a name for itself very, very fast.
Immediately. The Profine 40 is a good unit too, but both
it is.
And the Profine got a problem. That little speaker's external, and it always fills up with mud and dirt. And if you want to hear, and you got the vibro mode too, but if you want to hear it, plugs up with mud, you don't hear it. Where in the AccuPointer, they built the speaker into the bottom under the cap with a little trumpet that fits down in there and comes up through the cap. And you hear that very well, and it's loud and consistent. And yeah.
Yeah. And I don't see that getting plugged up.
No.
Because you figure that little speaker in there, not only is it protected by the end cap, but when you go to charge the AccuPoint, you have to, do your quarter turn or whatever to get the end cap off. Then you have to pull that plastic piece out that they call the trumpet. Then you see your speaker and your charge port.
Right.
So it's shielded well, but it's amazing at how loud that thing can be for the way it's shielded.
It does well. I tried everything I could the first 4 months to see different things, if it would fail, waterlog, the screen with dirt over it, your hands are filthy, no problem with the screen. You can change the intensity of the light in there. You got 2 nice bright LEDs you can turn on for hunting late or early.
Yep.
And does pretty well.
And it's got the iron target indicator that you can turn on if you would like. That's an option.
That works very well, by the way. Its discrimination is excellent.
Selectable levels of sensitivity and vibrations and vibration, or both. And one of the greatest selling points on that pinpointer, I think, aside from it being rechargeable and fast charging, no more guessing
right
what your battery level is, because you've got a battery meter right on there no more taking an extra 9-volt out into the field with you just in case. None of that.
All right. Okay. One more question that 5 Mile Relic Hunter has. What about Bluetoothing to your detector? It will Bluetooth to NOTCA detectors.
Right.
I haven't. It won't work. Link up with any of the others. So it
No.
will with the Legend and that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Well,
the Legend and I believe possibly the newer Simplexes. Although don't quote me on that. I know it will with the Legend though.
Right. Yes, Jason, newer NOTCAs.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Either way, good pinpointer. They did very well with that.
Barks, I believe it does. The Pro Swing harness. I will have to check. I haven't seen one of those in a long time.
Neither have I.
Sold a few, especially when the 5,000, 4,800s, that kind of stuff. They work pretty nice.
Yeah. Or if Barks is looking for a cheaper option, can you still get the detecting buddy? You know, the
I haven't seen
harness.
that for a while either.
Hmm.
I'm sure it's out there. Okay, 5 Mile says he has a Legend. Is that the original Legend or the Legend 2? The Legend 2, it should link up to the unit, the headphones, and but if it's the early Legend, I can't guarantee you it hooks up. I don't think it was in there then.
I want to say, if I remember right, the original Legend, it will, but it may require a software update.
Right.
But it's been a minute since I've used Legend, so I'm not sure.
Swansea. He says, since it's been a while, is the AT series crap now? The AT Pro? That's still a stalwart detector. That's still a good detector out in the field, especially beginning and that kind of stuff. And you can
Yeah, and still one of the world's most popular machines.
And that's still a good detector. I don't run the AT down. Now they've come out with their upgrading to the 9 there, and
oh yeah, the Vortex.
oh, okay. Yeah. So
A lot of questions in the chat tonight.
Legend 2, do you use the Bluetooth and is it worth using? I like the Bluetooth setup. On the DS, when it first came out, it had a lot of hitches in the giddy up because there was problems. It would unpair all the time. And they got that bug fixed up. And it is nice, but it comes through the headphone. You switch it on, So it's a personal choice thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, and Barks is driving us on a road trip to the campground to get reservations made. You mean the campground over here?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what he's talking about. I think they open April 1st.
That's the way I understand it. So,
And that's for those that are looking for campsites for swing into summer in June.
yep, get signed up, get your campsite all signed up, and get into the meet and greet. We'll have a good time.
And maybe you can elaborate on this, Chuck, or maybe Frank can, or somebody else in the chat. But if I remember right, that campground is a fairly busy campground. So the sooner they get their site, the better, probably.
Tim reports a company called Bear Claw, which I've never heard of, makes rubberized gun slings, and have come out with a detector sling. It's pretty nice, and he's got one. You ought to take a picture and post it up there, Tim.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
it's
would
called
be.
Claw. He says not Bear Claw. It's called Claw.
Okay.
And Bill likes his wireless setup for the dais. I did too when I was using it. That's nice. But the very first hookups, man, did they unpair all the time. Then you had to sit and mess with it. And then they fixed that.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. I mean, some of us out there may not remember the days of being tethered to your detector, but once the companies started coming up with wireless headphones, man, did it spoil us, and fast.
Right.
Same way with going from the old coin probes to the pinpointers.
Shannon is out of power. Uh-oh. Hey, Barb, you may want to make that trip up the swing in the summer. There's a rumor maybe a D2 is going to be available out in the field. I haven't heard any more than that, but
I know nothing.
I know nothing. There's surprises for you when you get here. Trust me. We like doing that too.
Yeah. Yeah, there's going to be some people surprised.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there are some things that maybe I can work on to see about letting out of the bag before the event, but for now, I think we probably ought to just set on it, because there may be some other people that want to make those announcements. I don't know. Maybe they don't. Maybe there is no announcement to make.
Yep.
And people are going, oh, good Lord. They're doing it again. One thing's for sure. They know something. They're up to something. Barb's going to start calling us troublemakers.
Randy, there were not pinpointers available in the late 70s yet.
No.
They
were the old probes, you know, the brass probes or the screwdriver, the blunted screwdriver.
Right. Barb, the dates are I think the meet and greet is June 20th and the hunt is 21st.
Correct. And since we know Frank's got his notes with him.
Yeah, he's on. Get him, Barb. Ask him.
Yep. Get him. Get at him.
He's an external vice president of the Illinois Iowa Treasure Hunters Club. They're running that. I'm just getting the people lined up and prizes.
Yep. We're working on things.
Your friends are coming in.
Yeah. See, and Ohio Relic Hunters even got the date.
Tim is going to be there, right, buddy? I asked you.
I think so.
Yeah, I think Josh and Tam will be there. We're finalizing everything with everybody, and I do know for sure you have KG in ringing. You've got Debbie Smakowski in Mine Lab. You have Rob Rizzo coming, and he's kind of representing DAS. So,
Randy, good job on that badge find. And Jason, White's released their first pinpointer, which was the bullseye, and I believe that was in the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah. And I had compass detectors, ORH, and they were a good detector. It's too bad their plant site burned down and they never recovered from that.
Yeah. Then Whites went to the Bullseye too. Then the TRX is still one heck of a pinpointer.
Swansea, since you're not on Facebook, generally if you come on the show and ask about events, there'll be somebody either going to one or can email you stuff. You can go to club sites and email them. And
Yep. I can always get it to you, Swansea.
yep.
Or you know how to find me.
That's right. Yeah.
Tim says he's got Jen looking for a ticket for him now.
There you go. You got to go to the Illinois, Iowa Treasure Hunters site.
Right.
Email.
The Facebook group, and that will give you all of the information you need right there. Pricing, payment options, where to send it.
The whole thing. And you got to bring Jen with you.
And actually, if I remember right, you could be right, Chuck. Didn't the Illinois Iowa Treasure Hunters have a website as well?
Yes, they do. They have a website.
So
Illinois Iowa Treasure Hunters Club.
that's what I thought.
All that information is on there. We got to get the link.
And that should be on there as well. So Swansea could always find that information there.
There, Swansea. Be great to see you here. I've only got so many weekends in the summer, and I would love to go all the hunts in the spring, fall, and the summer. I've traveled and done a lot of them, but there's just so many anymore. And I get calls from some of the groups, and, you know, right now I'm doing 1, 2, 3, and possibly a fourth one. Then I'm gone for 2 weeks in July. I'll be up doing my own.
Right. Yeah, plus, and these are just events.
Yeah.
Plus, you still do Aruba, Alaska, England.
Well, this year it's not going to be Aruba. We're probably Jill's wanting to see someplace different, so we're looking into another spot. So we'll see. No.
Randy wants to know if either, I don't know, he says either of you, I'm guessing he means either of us attending Digfest. I believe you, maybe.
Yep. Up in Wisconsin via Chicago.
Yeah. Yeah,
Frank
Chicago Digfest.
We're going to that, and I still trying to talk Dave White into riding with us. And we've got a cabin through Alan Landau. We got one bed open for Dave if he wants it. If not, he's got another guy. And we got the bigger cabin. It's got the bathroom and a kitchen in it. And we'll be cooking and hanging out. We'll be up there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and roll out on Sunday.
It is possible, Tim, that you do have to wait for member approval in the I&I Facebook group. But they've got a good team of admins. I'm sure that they'll get you through fairly quickly.
Right. So there's a lot going on, and I'll tell you what, there's more hunts popping up all the time. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I've wanted to go down to the hunt in Arkansas.
Murfreesboro Treasure Fest.
Yep. And then there's Treasure Week in Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Bill Hayes hits that one.
Yep. So
he does pretty good for himself there too.
Good. Good.
Yeah, and Murfreesboro, that's That's just down the road from Crater Diamonds, so I'm sure you guys can't wait to get to that one. You
Yeah,
and Jill.
that's something I'm looking at this fall. I'm not promising, but there's a gap there, and that fills it. Emery, that's so you don't forget who you are, buddy. Kadoha. That's Kadoha.
Yeah, that's Treasure Fest.
Yep. So that's a good time.
Yep.
You know, I read a lot of posts after these big hunts, and some complain because they didn't do very well. Others just glow about it. So you just can't please everybody. And if you take off at one angle and they were burying stuff at a different angle, or whatever.
Well, and there are some people that it doesn't matter what you do. You could bend over backwards and they're still going to find something to complain about with the event.
Right.
Now, some events, I understand why people complain about them. And we try not to talk a lot about those.
Right.
But other events, I mean, really, some people just, they've got to watch the world burn.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
Well, we may have some guests coming on here in the future. The two that we were going to have, they kind of said step back and want to wait. So we may have a couple coming up. That's going to be a challenge for Josh to hook all that up.
And how? I mean, and believe me, it's not from lack of trying. We tried before. I don't know what happened, but they never made it in that night. Thankfully, we never mentioned them in the promo. We never mentioned them during the show. So,
right.
But yeah, we'll see what happens.
Right. So anyway, folks, we're getting to that time. We burned an hour up of your time. I hope everybody's all right. Janet, I hope your power comes back on. They lost power down there.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's not good.
No. And also 5 Mile Hunter, Relic Hunter, I like that too, getting together with people. But usually, well, hello, Adventures in Dirt. Anyway, usually what happens to me at those, I get people coming up. I can't get my headphones to pair. I can't get this done. This isn't working right. I broke a bolt. You got another bolt. And taking care of that stuff. And I don't mind doing that. We got to get them in there and get them out in the field.
Welcome to Ken. Interesting. Well,
so we're looking towards that, and then I'm still working on the production group to come out and shoot at the hunt. He's
whoops.
So that's possibly going to be there. We're going to do some shooting there, and then a week worth of it in Alaska. So that ought to be.
Yeah.
Takes a week to shoot a half-hour show.
Yeah. It's amazing how much footage hits the editing room floor, so to speak.
Yep.
They can't just air it all, otherwise. I mean, come on, you guys and gals, you've been out there in the field, you know how it goes. People would probably find more entertainment watching paint dry than to watch 40 hours of bent rusty nails and stuff like that.
Well, I did a show. I did Adventures in Prospecting. I did 2 shows with them.
Yeah.
And the one never aired. I do have the DVD of it. We were actually up where They were making what they call miner's moss, which was 3M carpeting. And then we did another one in Alaska. I was on that with Perry Massey. Then we shot one in Keokuk, Iowa with Forest Grove Productions. And we had a Nat Geo film editor and crew at that one, and we actually hunted Mark, and you can still get that DVD out of Adventures in Prospecting. And we shot, and we got to hunt on Mark Twain's brother's home site, Orion, and Mark Twain's house in Keokuk, Iowa. And
Nice.
we did, God, it was hot. It was in the upper 90s, thick.
Miserable.
Oh, yeah. And we did almost 30 hours to get a half-hour show.
Yeah. And I saw Dennis asked if you were doing the second week. I'm guessing he's asking about Alaska, but you're doing both of them.
I'm doing both of them. Yeah, I'll be up there on both of them. I mean, I got this guy coming, I think. He's working on it. See if he can get all that put together to go up and see what we get out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It'll be interesting. Especially...
Yeah, we know we'll get wet. It's going to rain somewhere along the line on us.
Oh, yeah. But it'll really be interesting, especially, just last week, gold made history when it broke $3,000 an ounce.
Yes, it did. And it was 3,043,
I believe.
Yeah, it was right in there today even. And silver's dragging along. It's up punching 34 in the backside.
Still undervalued.
Yep. Way undervalued.
But it makes me just remember, everybody's saying it'll never break $2,000 an ounce, and look at where we are now.
Right.
Never say never.
Mm-mm.
And I think they're even speculating that we could see 35 an ounce by the end of the year.
So,
or sooner.
And if the Fed keeps messing around and not changing interest rates, it'll definitely happen.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yep. So the Fed did not raise it, but they did not lower it. Was that today or yesterday? So that all ties into your values. All right, Barks is at, okay, the markets are open overseas. It's
3,070.
And it's over 34 for silver.
Yeah, 34.12. Thanks for the real-time update there, Kevin. Always appreciated.
So, yeah, crazy stuff. You remember Midwest refineries, if I send an ounce in, they're keeping 10%, but they also will do a quick assay on it. It might, the last I did was 92 point some percent. And I got a nice check for an ounce at a little less than this rate. And I was tickled with it.
Yeah, and these weren't nuggets.
No, this is fine.
This wasn't even jewelry.
No, this is fine gold. So I was tickled with that price for fine gold. Nuggets, now if you got 1 ounce or larger than that one, they're pulling almost 100% over spot.
Yeah, because once you're talking in terms of nuggets, ounce and above, they demand a premium, especially the bigger they get, because now your specimen pieces.
Now your specimen chispas are pulling 80% over to 120% over, because some people like to see it in the natural little court setting, this kind of stuff. They bring big bucks. So,
Oh, yeah.
hunting. Actually, I'm watching guys up on Lake Superior gold hunting with the beach boxes. You're seeing them over on Wisconsin on Superior beaches. There's gold found on these beaches. It's fine. You get the black sand. And by fine, I mean fine, but it's there. And they're all running out west. Right now. Gold machine sales, gold pans, things like that.
Through the roof.
Through the roof. I mean, we can't keep the Gold Monster 1000s in stock on the West Coast right now.
Yep.
I'm buying 2 6-packs at a time, and within 2 weeks they're gone.
Yeah, they go out the door just as fast as they come in.
Yes, they do. So
that's a good thing.
You go on a trip, you spend $3,200 with your airfare and this kind of stuff, $3,500, ATV rental. You go up there and you pop yourself a nice 1.5 ounce nugget. She's paid for. And most guys go, I'll never sell that. Well, I'll tell you what, gold's a commodity. And when it gets up to this level, think about selling it.
Yeah. Yeah, I know of a number of people that have been, oh, well, I'll never sell these gold rings that I find, but they're seriously entertaining, or already have.
Yeah.
Never say never.
Nope. So, hello, Full Metal Digger. How's it going? Well, anyway, Josh, thanks for having me on. All the rest of you had a great day. Safe. You guys out there that had 74 today, you might not have 74 tomorrow in Ohio. And
no
sky.
Yeah, we won't have 74 here tomorrow, believe me.
Yep.
If people in Ohio are seeing 74, they're sitting in a hot tub.
That's right. So, anyway, you guys have a great night. I'm out of here. Got a couple things to get done, and then hang out.
There you go.
Evening.
We'll see you.
See ya. Thanks, Josh. Bye-bye.
So, yeah, we are in the midst of getting the flyer around for Swing Into Summer. Mark your calendars, June 20th, 21st. Going to be an interesting time. That's all I can say. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. But as we progress along, getting closer to the hunt, there are more announcements coming. Some we just haven't quite made yet. Yeah, I know nothing. Yeah, that's it. That's the ticket. Yeah. So hopefully everyone that is in the path of the storms are staying safe. They're about to bear down on us currently. We are under the watch. Hopefully it's nothing like Illinois, Kentucky, Indiana. Nothing like what they've had to deal with. It's unfortunate. Like we said, 9 confirmed tornadoes on the ground in Illinois today. Friday into Saturday, as that large cell moved across the country. I want to say there were probably right around 24 on the ground in different areas at any given point in time. Bad stuff. Bad stuff. Either way, it's time for us to roll on out of here. If you enjoyed the show, hey, throw us a like. Check us out in podcast distribution, obviously. You can always follow us here on Beyond Sight and Sound on YouTube. And we'll see what comes of things. Maybe We'll catch you on the next one. Have a wonderful evening, folks. We sure are glad you found us here tonight. Thanks for dropping by and joining in. If you like metal detecting, treasure hunting, gold prospecting, or even entertaining discussion, check us out Wednesdays and Sundays, 8 p.m. Eastern, on your favorite podcast distribution services.